So electric car drivers are set to face even more tax with pay per mile. Well, not entirely true. Brace yourselves for a whole lot of stupid because the headlines today don't actually match reality, and people will read headlines and make up their own story as usual. For a long time now, people on social media have told EV drivers to enjoy their pay per mile. Well, if the headlines are to be believed, they have to start paying it today. So let's discuss. Pay per mile is essentially a tax for every mile that you drive in your car. And I say car and not EV because petrol and diesel cars already pay this in the form of fuel duty, and it's very expensive. But here's the big kicker. It's not set to come in until around 2028, but even then it's still a massive long shot because it has to follow a very specific set of steps in order to become law. The infrastructure that will be needed to track cars on every road in the UK is massive, much bigger than anybody could possibly imagine. And cameras are only mainly on motorways and dual carriageways. So what, we're going to have cameras on every street, in every village? They could use MOT data, but we all know how accurate they're not. They could use self-declaration or self-assessment, but who's going to tell the truth, really? And cars change hands that often and that quickly that it'd be impossible to track. If they actually wanted to track it, it would require a brand new infrastructure of cameras right across the UK. And guess who pays for that? The taxpayers, like me and you. And some will say it's just like digital ID. It's an attack on your freedom. It's to make you stay local. It's 15-minute cities. It could be. Who knows? And if it is MOT data, I change my car every 3 years. Always have, always will. So I'll never pay it. But there are lots of things that the government must do first in order to make this a law. Policy formation, public consultation, draft legislation and government approval. All to happen without delay before the next general election, when we'll have a new government anyway. For context, it took them 6 to 8 years to bring in ULEZ, which is a much simpler system. But when it comes to tax, and this in particular, it shouldn't be EV versus ICE. It should be all of us versus the government, because all they want to do is put their hands in our pockets more and more.